Well, that was a funny story. It reminds me of a time that oh no, my hair!
Speaky Player.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Speaky Player with Nathan Webb, where we are just talking about things together. We're just talking about any random thing, and today's episode is special because I want to share with you a regret of mine, and it's something that I probably shouldn't regret, but doggone it, I do. So let's talk about regrets, doggone it. We all got them. Everybody has a regret. I'm sure there's something in your life. There's something that you wish you could have done that you didn't do, or something you could have done better, or something that you wish you'd learned, or things like that. Often it goes along with music. Like, I learned guitar whenever I was like 14, and I'm so appreciative of that moment in my life where I was like, let's just do it. Let's just learn this instrument. But I'd love to say that I learned piano, which I never did. I tried to, and I play it every now and again, but I'm no good at it, whereas I love the guitar. It's my favorite thing, and that is a nice incentive. But for some people, it just never quite clicks on the guitar, and they have that regret in their life, and I have a similar regret in my own way, something that I always wanted to do. And I want to talk to you about how it used to be a major regret of mine and how I've kind of changed it. I've accepted it in my own way, in a way that I think is healthy and that I wanted to share with you all in regards to your regrets that you might have. So let me start out by telling you just a little story. It had to have been the one of my birthdays, May 29th, likely of the year 2002, and I was dead into Pokemon, which hasn't changed much, let's be honest, but I was so into it. I was on the cusp of my climactic adventure into Pokemon. I loved every minute of it. I had all the games. I played them all the time. I watched the anime. I loved it to the point where I have accepted in my heart and my mind that Hey You Pikachu was actually one good game. How can I believe that? I was obsessed with Pokemon, and my parents, knowing that I was obsessed with Pokemon and wanting me to do things beyond just playing a game and sitting in front of a screen, they wanted me to be creative with it as well. And so they got me a roll of paper that was very popular in the 2000s. It was a roll of paper, and it came on a plastic clipboard, and you clipped the paper onto the top of the clipboard, and you pulled the paper down into a little slot that it pulled through, and it would essentially be like a coloring book, only instead of a book, it was like a coloring roll. And so you could just keep going, page after page after page. It wasn't constrained to the bindings of a book. I got this at a very young age, and I was hooked, people. I was hooked. I loved coloring in the lines. And now let me tell you another story. At the book fair, at the Scholastic Book Fair in elementary school, I happened to see another book that was, of course, Pokemon related, and it was I Will Draw Them All. It was a drawing guidebook that showed you a step-by-step process of how to draw your favorite classic 150 Pokemon. I had to have it. I saved up all my bubblegum money that I possibly could. I begged my parents. I said, please let me get one fun book from the Scholastic Book Fair, and they obliged, and they said, we want you to learn. We'll let you buy this book. And so I bought this book, this Pokemon art book, and I started to draw, and I tried, and I tried, and I tried. I desperately wanted to be good at drawing. I wanted to be able to use these guidelines and create these works of Pokemon art. And this was just the first instance of trying and failing whenever it came to art and coloring in that way. I'm good at coloring in the lines, as you've seen with my last week's video where I talked about adult coloring books and then this Pokemon coloring scroll. But doggone it, I was just no good at freehand. I never was. I always wanted to be. And so I grew up and I kept working at it. I tried to draw anything manga related. I would draw my own OCs, as they do call them, one of which is Christopher Light, which was actually the main character of one of my books that I wrote as a kid. My point here is that I was a real cool guy growing up, and all the ladies loved me. I drew a lot, and I tried to draw. A lot of my drawing style was based off of Akira Toriyama. I copied his eyes and the way he did the kind of rounded eyes, and I loved everything about it. And I tried to do this, and I tried, and I just never felt good enough. I wanted to be, desperately wanted to be, and I tried and tried, but I could never do it. And then it came to high school, and high school was the time where you had options, right? Where you got to choose your classes, and for some reason, I convinced myself that, Nathan, you'll never be good enough at art. And so you shouldn't bother taking it. Don't even try. They'll just laugh at you. Stay where you know you can. Stay in choir. Stay in band. Stay in theater. Stay in those areas where you know you're competent. I taught myself out of it. And then after high school, finished up, I had that regret that, man, I wish I'd taken art. I loved all the artists in my school. I was obsessed with their work. I would have paid money for it. Even the ones that probably are light years better now, I would have paid hardcore money for their, beginner pieces, their rookie pieces. I love art. I'm obsessed with it. And watching people's process and the way they create things, I could go on for days about it, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about the fact I wouldn't have ever have forgiven myself. For years, I didn't. For years, I was so mad at myself. I was like, man, why did I not try harder? Why did I not allow myself to at least give it a shot and take an art class and try to be good there? Why did I never allow myself to do that? It was around last year that I finally was like, you know what? I've got a little bit of free time on my hands. It was about the time I started single player. I said, why don't I start looking in an art book, a beginning art book, and taking it page by page and trying their methods. And I did. I went at it for a good month of drawing every single day, pencil work, pen work, learning how to do shading and dots and cross hatching and that kind of thing. And I was excited because I was learning. And then I tried to create something off book. It was a weird feeling of realization of that I regretted this for so long. And then I tried to learn, again, and I kind of got the itch a little bit, and then I let it slip out of my fingers, and it was a weird, I just didn't even know what to think anymore. I was like, do I want this or not? Do I want to do this, or do I not want to do this? And I couldn't really make it up in my mind for a long time, and I sat on it, and I thought about it, and I wondered, what do I want? And then it kind of hit me. I do make art. I make art consistently. I make art every single day. I love to create. Whether it be these videos, whether it be a drawing or a doodle that I make, sure, my art is never going to be as good as something that's going to go up in a museum. It's never going to be something that's going to be idolized, memorialized, or sell for thousands of dollars. But that's okay, because that's not what it's about. And I realized that was where my regret was. That was my regret. That seed that was inside me that was growing into a disgusting regret flower was totally birthed out of the fame behind the art. I wanted to be known for my art. I wanted to be recognized or paid or given some kind of glamour. And so that's what I was jealous of. That was what I regretted, was that I wasn't famous. That's not what this is about. That's not what passion's about. That's not what art is about. None of it is for the Benjamins, as Chamillionaire would say. It's not about the money. It's not about the glamour or the glitz or the fame. Instead, it's about doing something that you love. And so that's whenever I finally got over that regret and realized that I am doing it. I am pushing towards what I want. And anything that I'm not doing, I can do. The only thing holding me back is myself. But once I took that step and tried to do it, I realized that it was never what I wanted in the first place. Instead, the reality was that I wanted something else, something that's not of the same caliber of creativity. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with fame. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wanting money. What I am saying is this: if you want to get over these regrets in your life, then you have to analyze them and see where the paths cross and where they started. Where is the root of the problem? Is your regret truly that you didn't ever learn piano? Or is it because you want the fame of John Legend? What's your reasoning? If you can find that, analyze that, then I think you can come over these regrets and do what you want to do. figure out what it is that you really want. And maybe then you can be without regrets, and you can stand tall knowing that you've pursued what you honestly want to pursue. And so that's where I'm going to leave that one, you guys. I hope that you guys liked this. You really seemed to like last week's kind of encouraging talk on stress. And so I thought that would be a good thing to offer up this week, is some more encouraging advice. So if you guys like this, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Make sure to give me an upvote or a thumbs up if you did like this. If you want to see something else, more back to the old stuff, then let me know as well. If you want to see something completely different, please let me know. I want to create this with you guys, so just let me know and I will be happy to do it. Make sure to follow me on all my social media accounts to get some more encouraging advice and love from there. And just remember to love yourself, people, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.